All right, welcome back into the program. Excited today to introduce our audience to one of our new teammates here at Pirate Radio. Excited about a partnership we have formed together, and it's Brandon Golden. Many Pirate fans may recognize the name or recognize the face if you're watching us right now. But Brandon, excited about what we've been working on for a few months here, and finally getting ready to bring this project of the Brandon Golden Show to Pirate Radio to life, and looking forward to all the great things you have planned.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ellerbe. It's a really humbling, experience and opportunity to be able to be here to work with you and then the whole staff and kind of get this thing rolling.
Yeah, and as I said, we've had so many great partnerships over the years, especially with our new digital media platforms, and we've been talking for a while. And I think your story is one that's really interesting, and I think the stories you'll be able to tell on the Brandon Golden Show are going to be very fascinating and intriguing for audiences across our digital platforms and, of course, our traditional radio platforms. But first, for folks that are just tuning in and want to get to know Brandon Golden a little bit more. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who Brandon Golden is and how we got to this point of where we are right now, sitting in the Pirate Radio Studio C.
Yeah, 100%. So from High Point, North Carolina, went to undergrad here at East Carolina. Thought I wanted to be a respiratory therapist coming out of college. My dad had emphysema and cancer and things like that, and I went back home, interned at High Point University, or excuse me, at High Point Hospital. Did that whole bit for a little bit. Saw that wasn't really the route that I wanted to go. Went into college athletics at High Point University, interned there for a year and a half. Like I said, wasn't a college athlete, so really learned the ropes of how to train, how to interact with players, coaches. Went to Mississippi State, had the opportunity to be in some really high-level programs, and, was a college strength coach for 10 years and got the opportunity to work with the Dodgers. And now I'm running my own business and consulting with different colleges and doing things at a really high level. And yeah, I get to work with some of the best players on planet Earth and get to interact with people and push performance, and they get to pour into my life, and I get to pour into theirs, and it's a pretty cool opportunity.
Your Rolodex is very deep and very long, and a lot of names a lot of people are going to recognize.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're doing a partnership with Pirate Radio. You have the East Carolina ties of when you were here in Greenville. Give us the background of what you did while you were here in Greenville.
Yeah, so strength coach got here in 2017. I'll never forget one of my first couple days here. Malcolm comes over to me and we're on the field and he's like, "Man, this is the best time ever to be a Pirate. We're going to Omaha this year." Like, obviously coming off the 16th season, it was unbelievable. Brady hit the ball a touch to the left, maybe we do, and who knows what happens. But yeah, I mean, I just remember being here and then working, and just basically my whole thought process was like, let me not mess this up. Let me just, there was 9 seniors, CG and JP and Roselle had the thing rolling, and let me just kind of stay out of the way and kind of see what happens. Obviously, we know that's not the case. We went 0-10 in the conference, didn't make a regional. CG talks about it all the time, but I think that year really cemented a lot of different things in the organization and in the culture, but also in myself too, like understanding that it doesn't matter who you are or how talented you are on paper, like you have to go out there and do those things. And yeah, I mean, being here in 18 and 19 and 20 and really hosting regionals, winning conference championships, understanding what it took to win at the highest level and going to beat some of the best teams in the country was outstanding. It was an awesome opportunity for sure.
What led you out of East Carolina? I guess it was the Dodgers came knocking.
Yeah, it was. I was talking with somebody about this the other day, and it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make. And we're in a pandemic. I had a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old at the time, and went to undergrad here, wanted to be here, talked to the administration, like, how can I stay here? It just wasn't feasible. And again, professional baseball had come knocking a few times, just like with CG and other coaches. Like, we were very successful. We were very talented. We did a really good job. So people reached out to us about different opportunities. None of those opportunities were the right one. My wife and I, Emily, we felt like the Dodgers was the right one. And it's, in my opinion, the best organization in all the professional sports. And it was a huge leap. It was a scary one, but it was one that I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to be a part of, because I learned some different things that I wouldn't have been exposed to in collegiate baseball, and now it's set me up to be able to meet, interact with, and live the lifestyle that I want to, all while still training players at the highest level.
So where is Brandon Golden today? Obviously, you're now a podcaster. You're now a digital host and partner with us at Pirate Radio. But what is your full time gig of
Yeah,
how you're involved in the world of
yeah,
sports?
that's a great question. I run the Ghost Lab in High Point, North Carolina. So it's our training facility, state of the art facility. We have TrackMan hit tracks, have our vault force plates, pretty much anything that you would see in a high power four program. We have Carolina Ghost, which is a travel baseball organization, and then my wife runs some real estate stuff. So went from, kind of bottled myself into, hey, I can only be a college strength coach, to now I'm an entrepreneur doing a lot of different things, training some of the best players, like I said, in the world, and then consulting with some ACC schools and a couple other Division I schools. So it's a pretty neat ride for sure.
When I reflect back in the last 5 minutes of what you just told me, from being at East Carolina in 2017 to now where we are in 2025, I mean, you've packed in a lot of experience with a lot of different places with a lot of great people in the world of sports. What do you think you attribute all this, I guess, knowledge and experience you have to where you are today?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome question. And I think it really, a lot of it comes from, I didn't play the game. Like I was a strength coach. I played baseball when I was little, but I didn't play in high school or in college. And I think that was a big thing for me, is like, I knew when I was in grad school at St. John's, when I got, I worked with the collegiate national team, after my first year there, and in my career just kept going towards baseball. And just understanding, like I played lacrosse, like understanding rotational power and how to put a foot in the ground and how the pelvis rotate and have all these things happen. Like I was continually driven towards that sport, and really at Mississippi State and then at St. John's, and then moving forward, it was, I can have a huge impact from what happens in the weight room and what happens from the skill development side, just by understanding what they're trying to do and put them in those positions. So I guess to answer your question, LB, is like, it really came from a humble understanding of, like, I didn't know. Like I'd never gone out there and thrown a fastball at 92 that sunk. Like that wasn't on the bingo card for me. So really talking with people and learning from them, even our players at an early age, like really opened the door for me to be able to do the things I'm doing.
Brandon Golden joining us, our new digital partner with the Brandon Golden Show, is going to be coming to Pirate Radio very soon. We'll dive into your first couple of guests because I know you're excited because your Rolodex, as I mentioned, is so long, but your first couple of guests Pirate fans are going to know. But right now, I think as you're still helping athletes, you said you're consulting schools. What fills up your cup? What makes you have fulfillment in what you do right now?
Yeah, it can be from working with a 10-year-old or a major league player, but really the thing that fills it up the most is that light bulb moment where, say for example, a college kid or whoever is trying to get more ride on the fastball and they're trying to do something metrically, when they understand what I'm trying to get them to do from a movement quality side of things in the weight room, then it transfers to what's happening on the field, and that aha moment of like, holy cow, this is what I've been working so hard and so long on. And it's sometimes very simplistic, sometimes it's very complex. Like being able to mesh those two things together and allowing it to happen, that's the cool part. That's why we do what we do, and that's what keeps us coming back for more.
What is a fun question that you often get asked to how to help somebody, and what's a strange or hard question that someone brings you that you're like, wow, I don't know, this may be tough.
Yeah, a lot of times people ask me, especially like on the youth side of things, like some of our younger kids, like 14, 15, when they're playing for our teams, they're like, hey, so is this guy, is he going to be a Division I player? I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I think he has the skill set to play college baseball. Is he going to be a Division I player at 14 when they're a freshman in high school? Like, we're not really sure. I think the thing that's interesting and that's going to be forever changing is just the landscape of college baseball and what it looks like. There's so many more kids going to junior college and Division III and then transferring into the Division I schools, which is a normal thing. But it's not a bad thing. And I think just trying to educate some of those people that, yeah, you may have a chance to play Division I baseball, but let's not worry about that. Let's get caught up in how well you train, how well you sleep, how good your nutrition is. And if you really want to be successful and have the chance to play college baseball, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? I think that's the question. That's my rebuttal to that question. It's like, I have no idea. What are they willing to give up to get it? And What was the second question?
What's something that's a tough question for you that I mean that may have been it too. You know,
Yeah,
I mean it's a fun question that hey, look, can my son play Division I baseball? Well, I guess I mean maybe when a professional athlete comes to you and says, hey, look, I need to be fixed.
yeah, 100%. I'm working with a kid right now, Adam Conrad, who went to Carolina University, NAIA school in Winston Salem. I'm from High Point. I hadn't heard of it until a few years ago, which isn't a knock. It's just the reality of the situation. He was drafted. He's in the Padres organization. He's a pitcher, 93 to 95, can really ride the fastball, but is looking to do more things. And one of the things that he asked me the other day was he's like, hey, should I just be doing run and gun? Should I be doing pull downs all the time? And how does that look? Well, he does a pull down in our facility the other day. He touches 100. He kind of slipped, and he's like, oh man, that's awesome. I've never thrown a ball's never come out of my hand at 100 miles an hour. And the next day, he's asking different questions of like how can he blend that to the mound, and how can we kind of sync that up for him coming up in spring training, because the Padres, just like every other organization, want him to throw harder, be more efficient in the zone, K rate, all those different metrics there. And I told him, I said, Adam, I don't think we should be doing running guns. Like, I don't think we need to do that anymore. And he looked at me all perplexed. He said, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you just did it. Like, you could do it on flat ground. You struggle with the slope. So let's get better at the slope. Let's do different water bag drills. Let's throw off the mound more. Let's do different things to integrate those things, because the slope, that's the limiting factor right now. And let's get you to a position where you can do all these explosive things down the mound.
Brandon Golden, our special guest today, talking strength and conditioning, helping people in the world of sports, and just a phenomenal background you have with a ton of experience. And the one thing I was excited about when we started talking, and I think your personality is great too. So I think you're going to be able to do what I'm doing, asking you questions. You're going to be asking a lot of great questions because your Rolodex of guests. But I'm really excited about your first two guests because they have something in common right now as well. But go ahead and let's let the cat out of the bag or whatever of who the first two guests are going to be and why you chose these guys.
Yeah, number one's Clayton McCullough, the manager for the Miami Marlins. Obviously, Clayton played here, has done some awesome things in professional baseball, but he was also with the Dodgers when I was as well. And he was on the major league staff, and he could have very easily, big league me. I was in the minor leagues and could have gone about his business, but went out of his way several times during spring training to come over and talk to me and invite me over to the big league side, and just, be somebody who was a mentor, even if he doesn't realize he was, just by the way he went about his business. And watching him grow, kind of when we talk, like watching him grow and hearing his story about how he went from coaching in the minor leagues to being the field coordinator to being in the big leagues. Like, it was just somebody that you were pulled towards. Like, he had that gravitational pull just because of how good of a person he was. So wanted to get him on. I remember super excited to get him on and like really have him roll with that and just explain kind of what he's done.
What else are you excited about talking with Clayton about?
Yeah, just learning. I mean, talking about the World Series, what some of that stuff looked like in 24. Who knows kind of where that led and how some of those conversations went. But even more so, like what he's trying to build in Miami. Because obviously, like I said, being with the Dodgers for 10 years, he's seen and he's been a part of one of the best programs in all of professional sports. But like, how is he going to take that and make it his own and build something that's going to be impactful for a young team that's going to hopefully do some pretty special things coming up.
Solid leadoff there with Clayton McCullough. But in the two-hole, your second guest, a lot of Pirate fans are going to recognize this name, and even the manager of the Marlins is going to recognize his name. Who's it going to be?
Connor Norby. Norbdog Millionaire. It's funny, like I would call him that sometimes when he was in college. I'm like Norbdog Millionaire, and now he's a millionaire. So it's a pretty cool thing for him to be able to just do what he's done. And I reached out to Connor recently, probably about a month and a half ago now, but I basically called him and said, hey man, like, you're super talented. I know you really well. I know you from a performance side of things. I know you as a person. You're too talented to not be in the game, and the major league season is a grind. It's 162. You've had a couple soft tissue things. Like, I don't need a single cent from you. I don't want your money. I really care about you. I want you to have the opportunity to play this game for the longest possible time that you can. And here's some things that I think you should be doing. And it helps that the director of strength and conditioning for the Marlins and I work together with the Dodgers. So I said, hey man, I can consult with JT and I can help you with this. And look, man, the ball's in your court. I'm good, but I love you, man. I care about you. I want you to be able to play this game in the big leagues for as long as possible. So really excited to talk to Connor about, what he's kind of what it looked like in high school, coming from Minnesota down to Kernersville, which is out by me, and then coming to school here, obviously, what he really felt about me when I was his college strength coach, which I know the answer to that, but just for everybody to hear some of those things, and then what it looked like in the minor leagues. And then, obviously he's always been able to hit, but his first at bat was a bomb, and how that felt for him. And then what does it look like now going through a season that probably wasn't the way he drew it up in spring training to where we're at now in the off season, and how we're going to build him up moving forward for the upcoming season.
Two awesome guests to start off the Brandon Golden Show, Clayton McCullough and Connor Norby. Tell everybody, what's your big picture? What are you hoping to accomplish with the Brandon Golden Show?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing is just kind of, you alluded to it earlier, tell stories. I got a really cool experience, life experience in being in college baseball and being in professional baseball and on the consulting side and running my own business, and really just giving people the inside look of what it takes to be successful and in any walk of life, but especially in the game of baseball, in strength and conditioning. And yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, but really just to tell stories, bring people together, and show what it takes to be elite.
Season 1 is going to debut November the 18th, I believe. So it's coming your way with Clayton McCullough. So look forward to that conversation. Brandon Golden. Any other guests that you're working on that you want to mention here, or just I know there's a lot of obviously ECU connections, but there's also a lot of other people in the world of sports we've talked about that are just big time professional
Right.
athletes and
Yeah.
are impactful in this community.
For sure. There's probably going to be a couple major league strength coaches. There could be a couple names that went very high in the draft, some college coaches. But yeah, just we'll kind of leave people to suspense a little bit. But what I'm really excited about is just the quality of the conversations, because, to your point, the people that I'll be bringing on, I'm pretty close with, so we can have candid conversations and really get their life experience and their coaching or playing experience to, again, help, whether that's a parent, a coach, a player that's coming through similar things that they went through. And yeah, it should be pretty entertaining.
Well, Brandon, everybody can hear you, watch you on the Brandon Golden Show, coming to the Pirate Radio digital and traditional on-air platforms very soon. But if somebody wants to learn about your business or just get in touch with you before then, what's the best way?
Yeah, probably Instagram. You can find out what we're doing. My personal handle is @CoachBGolden, and then the lab is @GhostLabNC. And then my email address is carolinagghostbaseball@gmail.com.
Great stuff. Brandon, excited about our partnership, excited about these first two shows, but I know the next ones down the line are going to be better. And you're a natural, man.
Appreciate it.
This thing is gonna blow up, and I know a lot of people are going to be watching and consuming your content, and I can't wait to get it started.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's going to be a lot of fun.